Yo guys, welcome back. Okay, so we are finally done with all the strip outs on the vehicles, right? And now the real work starts. So if you guys thought that stripping a vehicle was the real work, no, that was the easy work. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna do the run through with you guys, and as you can see in the background here, you can see all the jigs in place. There's a lot more around. Right, we're gonna go through each car quickly because we're gonna start on the strip down of the items. We're gonna start on the sandblasting of the vehicles, and also the sandblasting of all the suspension parts and all the parts that need sandblasting. We're gonna start with that. So let me do this here. Let me flip around and let us go through the rest of the vehicles. All right, let's just do an update. Let's call it an update just of the rest of the vehicles that we stripped. You guys have seen in the videos what's going on, but I'm just going to explain to you which car is going to get what are we going to do on what car, you know how far we're going to go. I don't have to reiterate that, but which cars are we going to concentrate on sandblasting, which cars are not going to get blasted to a point, and so on like that. Okay guys, so we're going to do a quick start off. We've got the M5 still on the lift, but you can come past, guys. You guys are just bringing through the suspension. Remember, this guy didn't have motor, gearbox, prop shaft stuff in it. That is all still loose. So this car is stripped out. It's basically waiting for its trolley, and then it'll come into its place. We've got another IS over here. This here is a build. I'll do a video on this guy here in the next week or two. We've got the sister car coming off this year, which is a 325 iX. So car's been brought to South Africa quite a while back. It's a very nice car. The car's arriving tomorrow, so we're excited for that because it's the first four-wheel drive that we're working on. Then just quickly while we are here, so there's the M3 suspension there. The car's gone again for straightening, and yeah. Okay, so let's start off here, right? So in a red car and a red jig. This here is, you can see already we've got an issue with the engine brackets. They're totally wrong. The oil filter housing is wrong. It doesn't have the pipes for the oil cooler, but I've been through this here with the car for you guys. So again, engine bracket on that side wrong. We got to get to that, but we're going to do a strip down on the motor and strip down on the suspension. The gear links, we want to try and maintain this and keep this, but you can see, look at the link, you can see the bushes are all gone on here, and this here will cause a sloppy gear lever, but that's part of what we're going to get to. The suspension looks, besides for having its days numbered on your pushes and normal wear and tear items, everything is intact. I haven't checked diff ratios as yet. That I'll do once we do a cleanup. So just quickly, the jigs will get pushed out. It'll go into a wash bay. It'll get hosed out completely first, power wash properly, and then we'll start stripping out. Okay, then we got this baby here. So this here, if I remember correctly, was one of the neater cars on the interior bay, right? So we're gonna spend more time on the engine bay, the interior, the undercarriage, the boot of this guy here. We're gonna, obviously the corners is a must. We have to get to the corners with blasting, but we're gonna try and paint remove with machine, not so much with chemical, on the wider panels of this car, because you can see the paint is not very thick on here. We don't have to really spend, we're gonna spend time, yes, but we don't have to spend how do I say this here, we don't want to put a lot of pressure on unnecessary body items, right? So we're going to try first and do a hand paint remove on the wide panels. Wide panels, I mean in this sense here, your wide coverage panels, and just in the corners, the undercarriage, the engine bay, and so on like that, the hard to get areas, we're going to go with a blast. This here is the Era Silver car, so they're busy moving this jig into place. The Era Silver car's jig, you can see, just so you guys can see, we had Ryan and our Madala that we got here, and they were proactive and they made us our mounting points, not actually mounting points, just support points for the engine. So there's no more planks on this new jigs that's going on. Anyway, this guy here, we're gonna have to go through the harness. The harness is a problem on this vehicle. The engine brackets are correct, so this is how the 333 brackets should look. See, yeah, there. Right, but again, same story, extensive cleanup first. It's got the correct oil filter housing on it. Again, same story, we're gonna go through a thorough cleanup on it first, and then we'll do a strap down. So we'll have a jig standing here, we'll have all its containers next to it, so you'll have a front suspension, rear suspension, and whatever other bolts that we need for the jig will be in its place here, so it makes life easier for us when we start getting ready to electroplate and start powder coating as well. On this 333 here, this is the one that I told you guys that is okay. So just to let you know here quickly, this 333 here, this is not a full restoration. Motor's in already, we're not doing a full rest on it, we're just going to finish up on the wiring. It's waiting for a radiator. You can see this has been sprayed, not by us, but it's been sprayed, waiting for the injectors to come through, all the necessary parts. The interior is put together already. We were just finishing up on the wiring so we can close up, and this guy will be going. This one here, I will do a full update soon on this guy here. Sorry, the windows are still off here. So we got the carpet in on this guy here. I've got the rear carpet actually for it. We've got the dash in. Sorry, the glare of the light through the dust is a bit bad here. But the carpet looks nice, so we're going cream on this guy here. You can see the door sills are in already. We're starting to close this baby up. And then, because of space, I've had to put this guy's jig over here, so please excuse the way the jig looks. We've actually done a startup, and I'll do a full video on this here very soon. I just want to neaten this jig up a little bit more before we go through. So we've started this motor up on the jig already. She starts up on the turn. Big ups to the guy who built this motor. We did not build it, and that's a story for another day. Then we got another 333 over here. This here motor is in. We're doing a lot of close-ups on this motor, neatening up on the motor. The interior is still in place, and yeah, this will get put together. So I'll do a video on this guy here soon, a video on this guy soon, and a video on that soon. This is the primer vehicle, so this is part of the 5 333s that we're busy restoring. The roof liners, I haven't pulled them off. I've actually left them like this here. These guys need to get cleaned up properly, and then we need to blast on the inside. So it's got minimal surface rust. It's got some rust happening over here, and then corner, but nothing. This is not too major, but she's got to get back down again. The backboard is actually nice on this car for a change, man. Blast down the boot area, take out the reserve tanks, still pull out whatever wiring that has to come out. Then we're gonna take the panels apart, blast in the corners, and so on like that. And I'm gonna show you now on another video of the white eyes that we painted, why we're pushing to blast in the corners, right? So with this car, we're gonna blast, but we're gonna concentrate mainly on the interior blasting, and then we're gonna do a strip down, a manual strip down on the white body panels. Okay, so this is the car that we've painted. This is one of the tops that we've painted a while back, or I've sent in for painting a while back, and this is the issues that we're facing on this car. So there's some sort of reaction coming from the metal, and I don't think they've dried. After they've sandblasted the car got wet on the inside, and the car hasn't dried up, and we're starting to see a reaction from the bottom of the paint come up. So this baby here, it still has to, the suspension is powder coated already, but we need to assemble. This is a project that we've taken on a long time ago. This is number 6 that was painted before, and we're gonna start resurrecting this here with the rest of the 333s as well. Then we've got this baby here, another 333 with its jig here as well. So correct mountings, it's got the correct items on it again, but oil filter housing is the wrong one. Power steering hasn't even connected, but that's fine, we'll get to that. Again, extensive cleanup right through, and we're gonna go through it as well. So this guy here has got a lot of rust, So again, sandblasting, undercarriage sandblasting, interior. And remember on the Aero Silver car that we stripped out, I showed you guys the rust on the back window. So we've got to focus on those areas. So that car will get a lot of blasting on the exterior as well. Then we move over to the ISS. So this is our baby. This is our barn find car. Very nice car still, and I still maintain this is one of the good bodies out there. So on this vehicle here, I don't really want to blast on the wide areas. If I do blast, it'll be because I find a problem, but from here on, I can't really see an issue. So with the areas that I would like to blast on this guy is basically, sorry, my finger was there, on the corners, right? And I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with the roof lining in. That's why I've left it in so far. Blast on the corners, blast on this areas here, between the doors, by the hinges. We're gonna blast the floor out properly, and I'm gonna try and maintain a lot of the items in there. So on the engine bay side again a neat car, a nice car, but we're gonna blast out mainly to get to the corners. Okay, so DUF, I haven't checked DUF as yet. I'm assuming that the car has got the original DUF on it, but you can see we need to go through an extensive clean before we start stripping. Others, it's just gonna be a mess out here. DUF will get done. The gear lever they actually put away must come back on here. This car still has to get put on the jigs, so we're waiting for the last 2 jigs or 3 jigs to get bolted. We had to take it off, unfortunately, because we started running out of it. But we're gonna get onto this baby soon, and then we move over to our shuttle line. Shuttle line, same procedure again, but this car, okay. So we actually have to source suspension for this vehicle because it's got E36 front suspension on it. But it's gonna go through the same procedure again, right? Clean up on the side and get rid of those adapters on the car there. So this car, you guys know the story, right? This car, for those that haven't seen the previous video, this is rust like you can't believe. So I've spoken to the owner now. I throw a curveball at him, and he's gonna know what I'm talking about when he watches this video. And look at the rust over here. So this vehicle here, because it's been painted before, right? We're gonna go extensively onto sandblasting. We're gonna blast a lot onto the panels, but that I'll physically come and do myself, so we don't heat the panels up, we don't cause too much of friction on the panels. And look, it is what it is. If I do warp, I am gonna will shrink and sort out what we need to sort out. But there is a lot of paint on this car, and I wanna go through it so I can get into the deep areas that has been missed before. So this is a baby that we got to do, and then I'm gonna try and also get into these areas here. So I don't know if there was a fire here or what as I said before, but something happened, and I want to try and get into these areas here with regards to blasting. But this car might undergo a color change as well. Remember, it's a shuttle line. Might undergo a color change as well. We got something coming up for the undercarriage, and we got another rim change to this vehicle. So this is going to be a nice show vehicle to watch out for. Then on our M5s, we've got the white M5 on the jig already. This is for the red M5. Like I told you guys the first time around, there's no motor, no box for it, or the motor's putty. Mr. Butler is busy building the motor. Gearbox is here, DUF is here, and that will get put onto its jig afterwards. So with the M5, we're going through the same procedure, same story. This year, because the motor has been built, the motor doesn't even have 10Ks on it. Also a nice motor built up for it, but we're gonna have to go through everything else on the vehicle, right? So first deep clean, first get a proper washout, and then we'll do an assessment and then start stripping out on it. Body on this car, I would like to blast on this car. This car we need to sandblast on it. There is a couple of issue points on the front where it's been hidden by the rubberizer, but it's nothing bad. It's just in order for us, we have to follow that procedure. Then for the last, we've got the Henna Red M5 still on the lift. Then we've got one more 333 sitting in the next shop, which we're just storing at the moment just for the paint shop. It's actually standing next to the booth. That car was painted before, And again, it's by the previous guys who done also the white car and a few other cars. And yes, from far it looks pretty, it looks nice, but once you start going up close to the car, it looks like dust spots on it, but it's not actually dust. You can't buff it out. We buffed and flattened it out and polished it up, and we just couldn't get it. We got Sonex and their team as well to come through, and then we started identifying certain spots on the vehicle. So what do? We take the car down again and we start prepping it up for paint. Well, it's all good. Now at least what we can do is we've got quite a few 333s here. We can find the right color aerosolver. We can maintain that color, and we have control over it with the new paint system that we're going through as well. So anyway, guys, this is now the final update with all the cars stripped. This is actually a nice picture. But I will start updating you, and let's see how we're going to do it. If I'm going to do individual videos and we're going to go through each car directly, or are we going to do 3 tandems or 4 tandems or whatever it is. Let's see how we're going to get it done. And yeah, anyway guys, you guys know what to do. If you enjoy the channel, tell your friends about it, like, subscribe, and share, and let me know what more you guys want to see in content wise. And yeah, cheers guys.